Hello, everyone. Welcome to this live session. So, guys, we want to talk about what is happening in the north, how some of the lawmakers are raising alarm over, the force with which Boko Haram is attacking military base in the north, in Benue State to be specific. Now, take a look at some of these video clips and we'll come back to talk.
Very carefully. If care is not taken, Nigeria may lose democracy to bandits and Boko Haram. If Boko Haram could cut away military hardware in Maiduguri worth trillions of naira, then one day democracy may be a thing of the past and we may end up like the state of Afghanistan. I've said it before in my subsequent video and I'm saying it again. If government could continue to treat banditry and other satanic vices in the country with kid gloves, we may end up losing Nigeria to those that we never wanted it to be with. Watch this video and know what I'm talking about.
There are amendments or observations or comments. I start with Honorable Gadi. I'm from Plateau State. Mr. Speaker, you will only understand the heaviness of the content of this motion if we are privileged to see the picture of what Boko Haram did to Giwa barracks and other attacks within military formations in Borno State. Mr. Speaker, the pictures I saw, I am scared. I am scared whether the safety of the Nigerian civilians within the Nigerian territorial land can be guaranteed. Mr. Speaker, we budgeted for money, arms and ammunition, tanks numbering more than 40, including other platforms that belongs to the Nigerian military that is aimed at safeguarding our people, have been taken away worth trillions of naira by Boko Haram. How can we guarantee the safety of the Nigerian people in the circumstance that the platform that are meant to protect these people have been taken away by the enemies of the people? Mr. Speaker, we have been doing our best under your leadership. The National Assembly have been speaking on issues of insecurity. But Mr. Speaker, actions by departments of government must be taken. Mr. President must hold Nigerian military strategic commandants and other head of security agencies accountable for negligence of their responsibility. In as much as we appreciate, Mr. Speaker, the security agencies for putting their life at the front line to protect Nigerians, to make sure Nigerians sleep, we must hold somebody accountable that taxpayers' money used to buy guns, used to buy other platform for Nigerian military to fight, will be compromised and be donated like a form of free of charge to the enemies of this country. Mr. Speaker, this is unacceptable. I want to say again and again, Nigerians are being killed on daily basis from the north to the south to the west to the east, and we are here for Nigerians. Mr. Speaker, government must do the needful. The everyday resolution that we pass is not enough. Mr. Speaker, if it means facing agencies of government as a National Assembly to ensure that publicly we bring them to account for their responsibility and to account for their negligence of responsibility, we have to do that. Mr. Speaker, I will send you intelligence of the picture of the arms and ammunition of the platforms that have been taken away by Boko Haram in Maiduguri. And when the leaders, when the governor is crying, other representatives of government are first to issue statement undermining the supremacy of the chief security officer of the state, who knows what is happening in his state, who is crying, and someone within the comfort of his zone will say that the governor is raising an unnecessary alarm, whereas Nigerians are killing. This is unacceptable. Mr. Speaker, we must stand up and find a way of bringing this issue of insecurity to order. Otherwise, you and I is not safe. No matter how Nigerians respect us, we are moving to a level that Nigerians will fight us the way they fight criminals and the way they fight Boko Haram. Until the right thing is done by us here, until we speak for the Nigerian people, until we draw line, until we tell government what we are supposed to tell government, and until government respond by action, not by media statement or press statement. Do not hope, Mr. Speaker, that any member of the National Assembly is safe to move, not by bandits, not by Boko Haram, by the people that elected you and I. Time will come, if action is not taken, that Nigerians will take their destinies in their own hands. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity.
Is using armed drones. Let it be on record. They are using armed drones, weaponized drones, which the Nigerian army is not using. In other words, they are more sophisticated and advanced than the Nigerian army. Lastly, I lost people in Wajiroko. We lost people in Wajiroko as a result of Boko Haram insurgents. This is the few I can give you, just a tip of an iceberg as far as my constituency is concerned. I observe one thing. Boko Haram is fast coming back, worse than what we had in the past. Take it or leave it. Boko Haram, ISWAP, or whatever name you call them, they are coming back. Let us do something serious in order not to come back, go back to our days when 22 local governments out of 27 local governments of Borno were occupied by Boko Haram. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, we should be complacent. Rome used to be the greatest empire on the world, but it was destroyed by the complacency of the Romans because of their inability to take things serious, to deal with their enemies. So as I'm speaking to you, personnel, there are no Nigerian army personnel. They don't have enough personnel to face these boys. That is the truth. They are committed. They are very strong in their own stand, but unfortunately, they don't have enough personnel and equipment to face the Boko Haram. I have seen it. Nobody reported it to me because I went to my constituency on Saturday and came back on Sunday. So, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, we shouldn't be complacent with this. I align with Honorable Gadi by saying that we should do our own needful by doing the proper oversight of money expended, because between 2015 to 2019, Nigerian government spent 19-point-something trillion naira on security issues. I have the record with me.
So guys, that is lawmakers crying out, as regards to what is happening in Borno State. Boko Haram recently attacked a military base in Borno State. They've been attacking, or this is not the first time. Lately, there've been this series of attacks, and this time around, like you heard the first lawmaker who spoke, he said they carted away so many arms, and now they are saying we don't have enough personnel, we don't have enough arms to face Boko Haram. And this lawmaker that spoke last, he said Boko Haram has more sophisticated weapons. So you can imagine they have enough weapons to fight against the Nigerian military, and then they will still come again to the army base, dislodge the military personnel there, and cut away with the ones that the Nigerian military has. They have more sophisticated, and they will still come to take away the one that belongs to Nigeria. So if you take a critical look at these two clips that I played, you know that there is need for people to be having some concern. And this is coming at a time when the president have been going around, traveling to states, looking for people who move from one party to the APC party because of 2027. See, the biggest problem we have in this country is that we always have leaders that are so insensitive. Even after these lawmakers made these videos, there is as in the Nigerian state, the government is just behaving as if there is no cause of alarm. Now in Kwara State, the military has started arresting some what do they call the new terror group that has just emerged. They are operating more in that Kwara area, and they've started arresting some of them. But how many of them are you going to arrest? How many of them are you going to arrest? Now we are facing the Fulani headsmen. We are also facing Boko Haram, Mamuda, which is the new one, Lukarawa, which is the one that came out recently, and ISWAP, and all kinds of threats to Nigeria. And one just keep wondering, do we even have leaders that really have this empathy to end this menace? People have argued, saying insecurity is a multi-million-dollar, business that people don't want it to end. And when you look at the whole thing, it's only Nigeria that is really battling this insecurity to this extent now. Other countries, yes, like Sudan, them, Somalia, them, they have their own challenges. But I tell you, Nigeria is the country that is behaving as if these groups are stronger than us. And they are succeeding in taking down some of our military men, cutting away some of our military weapons and all that. And they are having their funding. Don't forget that the CDS, the Chief of Defense Staff, he came out to say that it is the funding that Boko Haram is having. That is why it is difficult to dislodge them, that they are being funded, possibly from international sources. And they cannot stop that funding. That is why it's as if Boko Haram cannot be defeated. And today, a lawmaker is boldly and publicly telling the entire world that Boko Haram is now using, how did they even call it? It's sophisticated drones. There's a word he added to drone, the kind of drone that they are now operating. You can imagine these people that didn't go to school, they now know how to manage drone. And today's world where you have all these AI drones that you can from anywhere manipulate, and it will just go and deliver and come back. And Nigeria is just like sleeping. We are just like sleeping. Advanced technology is even going to make this fight difficult. The question remains, are they training our military men? Are they even thinking ahead of these Boko Haram members? Is the Nigerian state really prepared for this war? Recently, I shared a video. You need to see the number of combatant Boko Haram members. They were just in a particular place in their multitude. You begin to wonder if this number actually come out to face Nigeria. Can we really overcome them? Okay, now, the governor of Benue State said they've released 300,000 repentant Boko Haram members. 300. And I listened to somebody who was like commenting on that number, that how can Nigeria release this number of people back into the society? These are people that have handled guns. These are people that have been trained. These are people that have spied people. These are people that possibly they were involved in shooting down the military jet. You just brought them into the society. Tomorrow, if Boko Haram want to fight against Nigeria, is it not those people they know, which possibly they intentionally used to release them, that they should go and confess that they've repented, so that they will just bring them into the society? So there's a whole lot when it comes to fighting insecurity in Nigeria. And the problem is all about leadership. Leadership. Look at all the recent buying. Okay, I'm going to share a video with you guys on Twitter, just for you to see what a human rights lawyer posted. This human rights lawyer that is from Edo State. Let me share with you. No, not Edo. I think it's from Delta State. This is one he shared today on Twitter. He said, it's been reported that suspected armed headsmen just spied at least 23 persons in separate attacks in 4 local government areas of Benue State. CNC, DSS, NIA, this says COAS, NSA, DSS, CDS, IGP, National Assembly. What is going on? When will the genocide end? When will ethnic cleansing end? Stop the genocide. He was just doing his own work, like he did his own form of protest. This is how he always protests. Anytime he feels something is wrong, he just goes, on the street and get himself videoed with the polo. He always writes something, an inscription on his t-shirt or so. You know, he said, stop the genocide. You can see it there. So, but what I'm trying to say is, Nigerians, you can see what is facing this country. And our leaders pretend as if nothing is happening. You know, people pretend as if all is well when all is not well. So you can imagine, upon all the massacre that happened recently, these headers, which we don't also know their mission. Is it to raid their cattle? Why buy people? We've heard that 64 communities have been displaced. Is anybody making effort to bring back those community people who have been displaced back to their community? The Tinubu's government does not capture that, you know. So we've ended up creating IDP camps across Nigeria. And possibly that's where they are going to, you know, live all their lives. Then you just wonder what's going to be the future of the children born in all these IDP camps. That's another time bomb waiting to explode. So a whole lot when it comes to leadership. And the worst part is that people like to play ethnic card in all this. When you see that there's danger in the land. Recently, we heard when the joint task force in Lagos, their leader, their boss, he won an award in Lagos State. And during that award, he was making a speech. He said they've arrested more than 1,000 Boko Haram members just in Lagos State alone. And you know what that means. So these people, they infiltrate every part of the country. If anything should happen now, they know how to assemble themselves across Nigeria. And that is why the security agencies really need to sit up and help this country, because we cannot grow as a country allowing all these things to happen. Honestly, we can't grow as a country allowing these people to just mess us up. Now, they invaded the military base in Benue State. They bite soldiers, they carted away military arms and all that. And to add to the ones that they've told us that they have and that are more sophisticated, they have more funding, they have more sophisticated weapons, and they will still come to carry the little that the Nigerian military has got to fight with. So, and nobody is like talking. Okay, the governor of Benue State came out to raise alarm. The Boko Haram is fast, you know, invading more communities in his state. And the people on that Tinubu's government came out to debunk it. I know what they are trying to say is, you know, they don't really want people to be talking about this thing so that Boko Haram will not be getting more information on the feeling and the psychology of the people. That maybe I believe that the Tinubu's government is trying to like downplay that so that Boko Haram will not take advantage of that message. But at the same time, are we seeing more efforts? Why is Tinubu not talking about Fulani headsmen carrying guns and moving around? This is 23 persons spied again in Benue State, and you will not hear the government make them 23. Now, the lives of Nigerians mean nothing. You know, the life of Nigerians does not mean anything to these our leaders. That is why they will tell you that 23 persons just by this post was posted today, this recent buying, and somebody from Benue State was saying, if you come to Benue State, some of their schools, their, you know, all these social places, these headers have taken over. You dare not go there. You dare not go there. And nobody can go there to send them away and allow these community members to come in. Last time you saw a video where somebody from Benue State was lamenting that they've been given an ultimatum to pack out. The headers gave them a kind of instruction to leave. If not, your life is at risk. The guy was making videos and was lamenting that so they are going to leave their community, all their houses, everything. You know, he was just pouring out his anger. But who are you complaining to? You are complaining to nobody, because the people you want to talk to, they won't listen to you. And that is the challenge we are having in Nigeria. So a whole lot is happening in this country. You must have seen the video where a Fulani leader was on Channels Television, and he said the buying of Nigerians is not caused by foreign headers, because we've been told that this is actually as a result of foreign headers who come into Nigeria and then they want to displace Nigerians to take over their, you know, their land, their communities. But like you can see, this headline says foreign headers responsible for majority of buying in Nigeria. This is coming from Nigeria Defense Headquarters. But a Fulani leader was on channels yesterday. I watched him from beginning to end, and he was saying that it is not actually caused by foreign. That if they say they are foreigners, they should. Why are they not sharing their nationalities? And it makes sense. His argument makes sense because we just hear they are foreigners. Where are they from? Does it mean none of them have been arrested? None of them have been interrogated? And then the Fulani leader was also saying the security agency is also, if security agents are compromised, why are they not arresting them if they say they are the cause? They are the Fulanis. So he was just trying to say, okay, that them that are Fulani headers, they are peaceful. The criminal elements are different from them. So if the police arrest them, they should deal with them. But we don't see, even if we hear that they were arrested, we don't see them being prosecuted. So guys, a whole lot is happening in terms of, insecurity and the way forward for this country. And we live in a country where our leaders are just interested in politics. You must have seen what is happening. When you go to Abuja, Tinubu's poster is everywhere. Somebody was driving to the airport, he said, hey, 2027 is still far. Tinubu has not completed 2 years, but his poster for 2027 is already everywhere on the road. Somebody made another video in Asaba and said, since the defection happened now, if you go everywhere now, it's Tinubu's poster. They are just interested. And Tinubu was in Enugu State. Now he went to Anambra. I heard he will be heading to Abia State, just trying to woe South. He wants every Nigerian to vote for him, even though we don't see evidence of what he has done for us in the first 2 years, not to talk of first tenure, that is 4 years. So, but these leaders, they are just after their political gain. Nobody is worried about people who are being pied in the villages. You can see the new number there, 23 people. This is just only in Benue State, and this is the figure that was given to us. These figures most times are not correct because we don't have investigative journalists who go into all these nooks and crannies to bring out the real figure of facts of what is happening. So it's just what you hear, what the security agents tell us, what people tell us. That's what you see here. But if you should really go deep. Okay, somebody yesterday was talking about Delta State. He said a man went out to go buy fufu for his family, only for him to be kidnapped by Fulani headsmen. So I was like wondering, what kind of Nigeria are we living in? You may have seen that video. It was done by Harrison. You know Harrison, the activist. I think he's from Delta State or so. He makes videos on all this insecurity related stuff. He made that video and he was like lamenting what is happening in this country. That you can't even leave your house and come back safely as a Nigerian. And it's as if nothing is wrong with all this. So I think we've really got to call out the government that they are not doing anything, because people will say, Tinubu is changing Nigeria. We don't know where that change is. We are not seeing that change. It's not translating to the lives of Nigerians. We are not seeing it. People are hungry. People are unsecured, and so many people insecure and all that. And the lifespan of Nigerians keep dropping because you are sleeping in the night, you don't have your peace. You are traveling, you don't have your peace. You may have seen the video of it, not a video, it was an image of students coming from Uniport, from a university, a higher institution in Port Harcourt. They were going to, I think, Ondo State. They were ambushed by these headsmen. Guess what? All of them in that bus, they were all taken into the forest, if not for one of them that sustained injury. They knew that one cannot trek that far. They left him and took the remaining ones into the bush. So you can imagine, we've not even had any update as to whether they've been released or ransom has been paid and all that. But that tells you that a whole lot of things is yet to be done in Nigeria. Now, let me even shock you. I would have brought a video here to share with you where, if you can remember when they attacked the railway under Buhari, the train route, if you can remember that attack, that they took in so many people into the bushes. If there was this northerner who was one of the people that was released after 6-7 months. He's a wealthy man. Let me not say wealthy, at least, he's fine financially. Now, he made a video recently. He was on one of the northern stations. He made a video that he was shocked that he went to the mosque and met one of his abductors, one of the kidnappers. He saw him live, as in, maybe I will try to share that video. he saw his abductor live in the mosque, and he was now telling him that he has repented. The bandit that picked them up after that train attack, he's met him inside the mosque. Nigerians, when I heard this, when I did not, I heard, I watched him, I watched the interview. I was like, God, this is unbelievable that you went to the mosque and then you now saw that the person who kidnapped you and kept you for like 6-7 months, his wife was pregnant. You now met him inside the mosque and he's now telling you that he has repented. Just like what the Nigerian state is doing now, granting pardon to Boko Haram members. So there's a whole lot. After they've bought people, they will just walk freely. Nobody is being prosecuted. Then tell me how we are going to end insecurity in Nigeria. Anyway, that is one of the challenges, because this government has not even known that why the economy is like dwindling is because insecurity. People are not having that boldness to come to Nigeria to invest. Even Nigerians who are abroad, they are having that fear. But nevertheless, like you guys always know that every Sunday after our main news video, we talk about investment opportunities in Nigeria. And we also want to like tell you guys not to lose hope, because guess what? Nigeria will be fixed. Nigeria will be fixed. And there are other ways you can always navigate what is happening in this country that affect you or affect your plans for this country. There are a whole lot of opportunities in this country. If not that, we don't have really good leaders, but nevertheless, now that I always bring to you guys somebody to talk to us about investment in Nigeria and opportunities like in land, in real estate. So like I said last time, that I don't bring in people that you should be afraid of in my channel. I like to bring in people that you can trust, people who understands, what the market is all about, and people who have the credibility, that can share with you, as in tell you how you can invest your money in Nigeria, how you can come in to make more money in Nigeria through real estate. I personally, I love real estate. It's something I love even right from when I was very young. I was able to make some of those moves in my tender age until now. I still love anything real estate, and I don't just want to hoard some of the knowledge I have, and I decide to partner with somebody that I know is credible, somebody that I know you can trust. If you want to buy land, you want to buy an apartment, you want to do real estate business, I have somebody here that you can trust. You don't need to be scared. I know that many people may have scared you in Nigeria. Maybe you gave them money and they ate it, and up to today, you've not got your money. So you don't need to have those fear. I've got you covered. So just like usual, I have Mr. Benga here, and he's still going to be talking to us on opportunities in real estate and also in properties in Nigeria. Mr. Benga, you are welcome to today's show.
Thank you very much, Madam Ifema. Thank you so much.
Just make a little introduction of yourself and tell our audience who you are. And let's just also share with them some of these opportunities that we've been talking about that people can take advantage of. Even before we came on here, we always chat on opportunities back home. And we also want to deliver that message here so that people will know that Nigeria, Africa as a whole, is still like a virgin land. It's a place you can start sowing to reap tomorrow. And one of the secure investments you can make in Nigeria is real estate, because once you're able to buy your house or buy a land that doesn't have problem, guess what? Whether the government is doing well or not, it doesn't concern you. People always want to live in a house. It's a landed property. People always want to farm. So, Mr. Benga, just tell us a little about yourself and also talk to us about these opportunities that exist in Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Madam Ifema. It's a great pleasure to be here once again on your program. My name is Mr. Benga Rahim. I'm the CEO of City Buildings Real Estate Development Company. We're an indigenous company here, right here in Lagos, Nigeria. and we've been in business. We've been in the property business for close to half a decade now. So today we'll be talking about how your audience can make money from their property even while they are sleeping. There's a saying by a famous wealthy man. He said that if you are not making money while you are sleeping, he says you are going to work forever. So the opportunity we bring to your clients, to your audience, is the ability to make money while they are sleeping. And by so saying, it means that while they are sleeping, their money will be working hard for them. Their money will not just be working for them; it will be working hard for them, so that they have good cash flow, they have good residual income. When they retire, they have something to fall back on. And then the opportunity we'll be sharing today is what we call land banking. So we're talking about the investment opportunities, the benefits of land banking. Now, land banking isn't just a trend. It's one of the oldest and uh, um, most proven wealth building strategies globally. This land banking concept of making wealth is not just peculiar to Nigeria or to Africa. Even in America, they do land banking. Various places in Africa, they do land banking. And the reason why it's a unique concept, a worthy concept in Nigeria, is because we are still developing. We are still a third world company. We are still developing. We have vast land everywhere, and it is those that are able to go ahead of the pack. Those are the people that benefit, because there's a saying that if you know where people are going to, and you go ahead to buy the land before they get there, you are going to position yourself for great wealth acquisition. And really, that's how the super wealthy, they get rich. And one of the people, some of the people that have practiced land banking and growing their wealth through ownership of land, number one is the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church, and even Bill Gates and Melinda Gates Foundation, they've acquired enormous amount of land. Let me give you an example of the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church will go to an area that nobody knows, all right, and they will buy land. You'll be wondering, say, what is wrong with these people that they left civilization, they left where it's already developed, and they will go into interlands, where remote places. Guess what? 5 years after they bought that land, you will now see that place now explodes. There will not be houses round about there, but they would have bought cheap. You see them with vast land. That's why they can have schools, they can have churches with vast land, because they are bought before that time. So they say that the best time to buy land is before people get there. Before people get there. So, and then a bare land, especially in a growing area, increases in value without any added effort. Now, the beautiful thing with land is that land does not depreciate. Definitely, it appreciates. With land, you don't have tenant issues. With land, you don't have plumbing issues. With land, you don't have painting. Sort of like you're maintaining. Those are the benefits of land. And then, as you are living it, more people are coming. And when you go ahead of the park, you buy cheap. And when people come and meet you there, you are you are like a resident landlord. You will now begin to pay. You will now begin to get sort of like value from waiting. Value from waiting. I also like to talk on why land banking is still the safest form of property investment. Why is land
Okay,
banking
please,
the
can I
safest form
just
of?
ask you
Yes,
this question? My question
yes,
is,
madam.
how can people manage being patient? Because I think the main problem we have here is lack of patience. Like if you tell somebody to buy a land now, wait for like 10 years, the person will calculate 1, 2, 3, 4 till 10 years. You'll be wondering,
Mm,
hey,
mm.
some people will like, I hope I will stay to that point. Why should I go? But I remember, like myself, I was opportune to buy 4.5 plots of land
Okay.
somewhere in Owerri. That
Okay.
land was
Mm.
bought for like 400 and something, 400 and 450 thereabout per plot. And when we wanted to sell it, the first set we sold, because we didn't sell all at once, we sold for 4
Good.
million, and later we sold for 6 million.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
So,
Wow.
like, if I remember it, I would like, God, this is really, you can imagine if I had, gone to like buy 10 plots at that amount, 20 plots.
Exactly.
But at that time, when you
Exactly.
are buying it, you are wondering, why should I just buy it?
Yeah.
Buying this land now? Oh, why should I put all this money now? I don't even know when I'm going to sell it. And you'll be so reluctant. But I tell you, that land solved some important needs for us. Buying it at that price and selling it, you can see the margin. Although we waited, we just bought
Yeah.
it and forgot it. And
Mm.
when we needed to sell it, we now were asking, okay, we told someone whom we know sells land to like get people to, and we brought many people who wanted to buy, and we decided to choose the best of the prices. We sold 2 times, but we didn't sell all at once. But you can see
Wow.
the difference. Buying at 400 and something, then you sell the first two at 4 million, the other one 6 million per plot. So you can see the
Yeah.
margin. So I think
Yeah.
it's really something people should really consider, especially if you just have money wasting in the bank and you have land, empty land, or you have somebody you can rely on, land you can invest in. I think this is just passive income. This is a pure form of passive income because you don't even need you won't do no additional work, but the money will
Yeah.
just come, just
Exactly.
that patience. So my question is now, how can one develop this patience? Because for us Africans, we like quick money. We like quick money.
To come on time.
I'm telling you, we
It's a
love
very
quick money. But the
yeah.
white
It's a very
people
good question.
understand the game more than us. They are ready to, like you
Exactly.
mentioned, Catholic Church. They know the game. Bill Gates, them, they know the game.
Mm.
They will
Mm.
invest when it is nothing. But before you know it, it now
Mm-hmm.
becomes something. And at that
Yes.
peak, people will want to go and buy and they'll be struggling on how to raise funds. So how do we
Exactly.
develop that patience that can really help someone to know, I want to go into real estate? I know it requires patience. How do I
Mm.
build that patient mindset to really
Thank
make
you.
it?
Thank you very much. A very, very valid question. Now, you are very correct. Africans were a bit quickie. We want things done on time, and we can't wait for our investment to grow and mature so it begins to give us dividend. So one thing that can help us with our patience, so it's like growing a cash crop tree. For example, if you plant a palm tree, for example, all right, you plant it, it will not give you fruit in the first, second, or third year. You have to wait for it for a while. Now now something that can help your audience with patience is if that land begins to yield value for them from the beginning. Because when somebody is getting, it's like you have a chicken. You have a chicken, the chicken is laying eggs for you daily, laying eggs for you monthly, laying eggs for you yearly. You will have the patience to allow that chicken to stay with you for a long time, for 5 years, for 6 years, 7 years, as long as that chicken is producing eggs. But if the chicken stops producing eggs, you'll be frustrated. Like, what is your use? You are not giving me any value. So if your land is giving you value yearly on a yearly basis, you have the patience to allow it. For example, somebody might have a land somewhere. I might give it to a mechanic union to be giving him returns. So long as no matter how small that return is, that money will have something that it is solving is a problem for. So you're able to say, okay, at least I have my land here, it's secured, I have presence on it, and I'm getting something from it. So because you're getting something from it, it cushions your patience, it cushions your anxiety, and helps you to live it.
Yes.
So so to help your patients, you need to deploy that land to be giving you something yearly. That's really what will encourage that patience and allow you live it to appreciate over time.
Okay. So if I may ask, you talked about giving an empty plot of land to like mechanics
Yes.
What are other ways to make money from a land that you don't intend to develop? Because I know that, like, we also have a land that we gave out to church. You know, the church just built like a small bacha. Is it bacha they call it? Yeah, just like a
Yes. Yes.
small bacha there. And that serves as a protection to the land. And, you know, they also like offer something because they've been there for like, I think more than 10 years now.
Mm,
You
mm,
know, they've been
mm.
there for like more
Yeah.
than 10 years. And then
Mm,
their presence there is making the land to be secured. And the value of the land is growing. So we don't even care to like ask how much does it worth because it's not a land we intend to sell. But what I'm just
mm,
trying to ask is, can you tell us what are other opportunities, you know, that if one has a land and the person is not ready to develop it today, maybe you don't have the money and you just want to leave it for some time so that it will appreciate or you start building later. What are ways to start generating funds? Like you said, making money can make you forget about selling it quick.
yes.
So tell
Yes.
us, you talked about mechanic. What are other ways?
Yes, thank you. You've also mentioned one of them. You can also lease it out, long lease to churches. You can give it to furniture making people because they need space for doing their works, depending on the location. Okay, you can give it to furniture making people. You can lease it out to a factory. You can lease it out to a factory that, I mean, it's, you don't want to sell it. So it's sort of like it's a synergy. It's a synergy. Take my land, do what you want to do, and give me something in return. And another very productive one, profitable one, is to use it for farming purpose. There are seasons in Lagos, in Nigeria, where ugu is pricey. You can give somebody and just target that period and say, farm ugu on my land for this period. Every 3 months, you are harvesting. So you can use it for farming, for ugu, for corn, for okra, for cassava. Farming is actually the most friendly one because you don't need so much agreement, and then you can terminate. You can decide, I want to use my land next year, and that year you're not plant anything. But if you
Mm,
have
yeah.
people like mechanics and churches, you have to be a bit more technical about the agreement. But for farming, it's easy, it's convenient, it's flexible. You can terminate, you can stop, you can continue. And so farming on your land, that's about the best route to go. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Or somebody once told me about allowing the cement industry people, you know, these people that also build cement and mold cement, but sometimes they always look for
Yeah,
land
that's a good one
to
too.
do
They
that.
can use it as a depot.
Yes, but the person pointed out that sometimes these people, if you are not careful with them, like if you don't write your agreement very well, some of them might even tomorrow, like after a very long time, they want to like claim your land. I don't know how true that is. So please, if you can throw more light on that, and if somebody wants to prevent his or her land from being
Love,
taken,
love, I need your phone. Oh, love, love.
sorry. Your voice is sounding so hard. So, can you hear me well? I don't think you can hear me.
Oh,
Hello, Mr. Benga. Oh, the internet. So, guys, as we wait for him to come back, I'll be adding him to the live session. So, I think buying land is really something people should consider, especially if you are living, not just living outside the country, even if you're in Nigeria and you know that your business gives you some gain, you know, you can start investing in buying landed properties, and then just use some of these techniques. You can them out to mechanics, block industries like some churches, or farmers. Like he has said, that farming is one of the easiest and the best because you can tell the person, oh, you didn't manage my land well this year, please next year don't come again, or something like that. But I think these are ways. Sometimes you can even make money that covers the amount you used in buying the land just from collecting all this money from these people. And assuming you are not in Nigeria and somebody is paying you, you just open a bank account and every month the money is going into your account. Before you know it, it has built another source of revenue for you. And I think it's something Nigerians should not neglect, because whether you like it or not, real estate in Nigeria has come to stay, and it does not matter who is in government. Like Tinubu is there now. Nigerians believe times are hard, people are suffering, people are hungry, but it will not affect people who already have houses. Your tenant is there living there, paying you, or you have a landed property and you have leased it out. Your money will be coming. That one does not concern Tinubu, you know. And but for people who put in everything into business, the government may just release one policy now. And like recently, the Tinubu's government said they want to ban the solar panels from being imported into Nigeria. And you know what that means? It's going to crush so many businesses if that eventually goes into reality. It's going to affect so many lives. So that is why real estate is really something people should consider, especially if you have somebody you can trust and you can partner with, you can go into it and you can make money from it. So, Mr. Benga, my question to you is, how do we agree with some of these people that we lease our lands to? How do we agree with them so that tomorrow there won't be any problem? Assuming I want to say, stop using my land, and the person has been there for like 10 years or 20 years. What kind of agreement am I supposed to write?
Thank you. All right. So, as you have rightly said, it's important to have a solid agreement to be drafted by a lawyer, okay, and to be witnessed by other family members. To be witnessed by other, especially if it's a private owned land, okay, because by the grace of God, when you own a land and then you give it out to somebody, some people's minds are good, some people's minds are not so good. So you should have an agreement that's a lease agreement. It will be a lease agreement, okay, drafted by a lawyer, witnessed by at least 2 members of the person's family, okay, on both sides. They should have their witness, and the owner of the land should also have their witness. So you should have at least 4 witnesses to the transaction, and it should not exceed 3 years. The lease should be between 2 to 3 years and should be renewable. Okay, it should not be a blanket long-term lease. 2 to 3 years, renewable. Okay, you might not necessarily astronomically increase the amount of the lease or amount, okay, but that so that there is face-to-face discussion after 2-3 years. So this is my land, you are leasing it, so that God forbid, if the person is, let's say for example, the owner of the land is, say, maybe 80 years old, for example, all right, and there's something happens in between and they go to meet their maker, the witnesses will know that there's a transaction that transpired between these 2 people. So after 2 years, okay, that agreement is to be revisited. And the next of kin of the owner of the property should also be aware. All right, it's very important. And then, but unfortunately, let's hope that they will not have so this is not the kind of agreement that you will be holding your property from your loved ones. It's not, because God forbid, in between, things can happen, and then you want your people to know that you have a property somewhere. So that's why the lease should not be super long term. It should be between 2 to 3 years, and it should be renewable. All right, and then you redraft the agreement. You go and visit your land, okay, or have family members visit the land. Or another thing, another very, very important thing is that when somebody has a lot of properties, okay, it's important to set up a trust. It's important to set up a trust. All right, what that means is that you are not just the one overseeing your property. You have a sort of like a management thing, okay? It's a trust, and then those people, they are looking after your property on your behalf also. So you are aware of your property. The trust is also aware of your property. So if for example, the person is an old person and they go to be with the Lord, all right, that trust know that this person has this number of properties on lease to so and so people, and they're able to retrieve those properties for their next of kin and their beneficiary. So it should be short term, and it should be renewable, and you should have witnesses that are aware of such properties.
Okay, thank you very
Yes, ma'am.
much. So, guys, if you are interested in anything that has to do with landed property, you want to start investing, you can always contact Mr. Benga so that, and you discuss with him, or you have any further question on what we've just discussed now, just feel free to ask him the question. You can see his contact is playing on the screen there, and also his his contact, the email address is there, and the WhatsApp chat. You can either call or send him a text message, and I've also added this information in the comment section. So if you are interested in anything landed property in Nigeria, especially in Lagos and Abuja to be specific, just reach out to him. Or you have any other question that we've not talked about here, you can always reach out to him. So, Mr. Benga, can you also
Yes,
talk
ma'am.
to us about real estate, as in acquiring properties in Nigeria? Because you've just told us that we can make money buying landed property. You know, they call it
Yes.
land banking. So, what are the other ways to also make money from properties in Nigeria?
Okay, thank you. Other ways you can make money from property is by owning houses too. All right. So for houses, the typical conventional traditional way of making money from properties is to rent it out. Okay, you could either have block of flats, okay, apartments or duplexes. Okay, and then you can rent it out on an annual basis, or you can step it up one notch by furnishing the properties and putting it out for what we call short lets or Airbnb. When you do Airbnb or short lets, okay, you multiply your returns because you have people that are some people come to stay in some places for short periods, but they don't want to pay the high rates that hotels are giving them, and they want to be able to have their comfort. They want to be able to cook. They want to be able to have visitors. They want a secured environment. So you can provide that added service, that added value to your property by furnishing a property and giving it to them on a short term basis, maybe 1 week, 2 week, 1 month, 3 months, depending. And then 1 month money can give you what 1 year rent can give you on that same property. So that's also one way you can utilize your property. And we have such, and then another way you can make money from this sort of model is to buy properties that are still under construction. Buy properties that are still under construction from reputable development companies. Reputable development companies. You're able to buy cheap so that when the property is complete, you have already made money before the property is completed, and then you now begin to use it for the business model that you want to use it for.
Okay, thank you for that. I just want to say that, it's no longer has to do with location where you are living. This time around, the money that people in America are making online in real estate can also be gotten by somebody who is in Nigeria. With this
Oh yeah.
model now,
Oh yeah.
this Airbnb and all those stuff, buying a house in Nigeria and then you lease it online, and somebody comes and lives there for one day, just for one day, and the person is going to pay you. Then another person might come in again the next day, the person will pay again. Before you know it, in a month, you have made money that people who just have residential homes have not made for the whole year. So I think
Oh
it's
yeah.
really a
Oh yeah.
very good business model that everybody should be thinking about, because myself, I'm in love with, this short-let business. And we've been told about dirty December that happened last December, where all the outlets in Lagos were booked.
Totally booked.
People were looking for where to sleep, where
Mm,
to rent. They couldn't find. So you can imagine, if that happened last year, expect more of that to happen this coming year.
definitely.
So it's
Definitely.
really a very good business model that you have a house or you have an apartment, or you convert it to an outlet and
Mm,
you list it online.
mm,
You just start making money, as simple as that. But Mr.
mm.
Benga, some of the challenges Nigerians have is where to buy these properties. who to buy it from. How do you ensure you don't fall into the wrong hand? That is always a question, because I know even this one we used to discuss here. Some people will be saying, "Oh, are you sure this person you can trust him and all that?" So I know that people are always scared because of
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
major problem we have in Nigeria. But
Yeah.
you don't just because of that and deny yourself the opportunity to make money. So
Exactly.
talk to us on how people can really invest and make sure they invest through the right channel.
Thank you. All right. Yeah. So as I said, um, if your audience are going to buy any property, they must make sure they buy from reputable property developer companies. And how do you identify a reputable one? Number one is that they should have some certifications that positions them to be under authority. Because if somebody is under authority, that means that they have a supervisory board that oversees what they do. All right. And such reputable companies should be registered with the Real Estate Development Association of Nigeria. That is REDAN. That's number one. Number two, such a reputable company should have registration with EFCC. Should have registration with EFCC under something they call the SCUM, SCUML. Okay. And even before that, they should be a registered entity. They should be registered with CAC. All right. And then these things are verifiable. They should have their certificates that a lawyer can verify. That's number one. Number two is now that any property that they are buying should, depending on the location, it should either be free from government acquisition. So it should either be a freehold property. Number two, it should either have a C of O. It should have either a governor's consent, a gazette, or an excision. Okay, so it should have these titles, and your audience should now contact either a lawyer or a surveyor to verify the status of this land, whether it's freehold, whether it has a C of O, whether it has a governor's consent, a gazette, or excision. A lawyer a surveyor should get involved. Now, another thing is that there should be video because most of the audience will be in the diaspora. Another thing is that there must be video inspections. There must be video inspections. There must be live coverages that this is the land, this is where it's situated. And then whenever they make any payment, they should not make payment to anybody's private account. They should not make any money to private account. It should only be corporate accounts. Only corporate account, because with the EFCC, there are regulations. There are regulations that guide the operations of particularly real estate developers. There are regulations that guide their operations. So it should not be a private account. A private account, EFCC will not get involved. But a corporate account, the person has nowhere to hide. It has nowhere to hide. And also with REDAN is also a supervisory body that you can report to. They can hold on to the person's license, and they can make sure that the person gets their land. So that's why those qualifications and certifications are important.
Wow.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. I heard people talking about when CBEX duped Nigerians of trillions of naira. I heard people saying it's because they weren't registered by all these supervisory bodies. Nobody was monitoring what they were doing, and they just came in, took advantage of ignorance of Nigerians. Those that are not financially literate. They just took advantage of them and duped them and disappeared. So I think what you just said now makes a whole lot of sense. Before you buy land through any real estate developer, make sure the person is registered with all the supervisory bodies that monitor all these real estate developers, because you can fall into the wrong hand. And make sure you don't pay into a private account. It should be a corporate account. And by then you must have done your due diligence to research about the company and also know a little more about them. And can one also verify, because somebody can just tell you that, yes, I'm registered with all these bodies that supervise, and the person is trying to lie. Are there ways to verify, like if I want to buy land from you now and I'm seeing you for the first time and your offer is good, how do I go ahead to make research to verify and make sure that all these bodies you've mentioned Can you mention those bodies again that you just talked about?
First, to start with, Corporate Affairs Commission, that's CAC. Okay, that's number one. Number two, Real Estate Developers Association of Nigeria, that's REDAN. Number three, EFCC. Those are at least the major three. Now, when they give certificates, it will carry the name of the organization. For example, City Buildings Real Estate Development Company. It will carry the name, and it will also carry a serial number. It will carry a serial number. Yeah, so with the name and the serial number, you can either engage a lawyer, okay, or you can do it yourself. You can do it yourself because CAC, EFCC, REDA, they have websites where they have contact numbers. You call them up, okay, say, oh, it is the REDA office, which zone is this? If the person is not even under that zone, they will ask you, where is the person operating? If it says Lagos, they will direct you to the Lagos branch. They'll give you the listing. It's very open and transparent. You call the Lagos branch, say, oh, I have a real estate developer I want to transact with, but I'm doing my due diligence. It's an open thing. It's free information. So they say, okay, what is the name? What is the registration number? You will give it to them. Probably, if they are very computer savvy, you can get your information within 1 hour, 2 hours. But if not, you can send an email. So they will reply you back by email and say, yes, this name is registered with us under this zone. These are the directors, and they'll give you other information, give you the location of the people. But if that number is not on their database, there's a red flag, because because in Nigeria we can clone documents. So if it's not in the database of that regulatory body, that means it's not true. Or you cannot get a lawyer to go and do maybe a more detailed search. So if they do a bit more detailed search and comes out empty, it's empty. That's it.
Okay, I think this is very clear. So, guys, in case you want to invest in Nigeria and you want to be very sure, just get the name of the company and also get their registration number, right? I think with that, you are good to go. You now make your investigation. If you know you can't do it, but he said it's simple. You go to this website and just search and make sure they are registered. If it's something you can't do, get a lawyer. I think it's easy to hire a lawyer in Nigeria because it's cheap. You can just get a lawyer to help you go verify this registration.
For about $50, you can get all that done.
Good. You see, it's very cheap. So you can always contact any lawyer you know to go and verify. So once this real estate company is registered or verified by your lawyer to be registered, under all these bodies, you are good to go, because even if anything happens, these bodies will help you retrieve your money. So you don't need to fear. Because one of the things that, hinder us a lot is this fear. Business is full of risk, honestly. Business is full of risk. And sometimes if you try to avoid it, you end up just denying yourself of so many opportunities. So the best thing is for you to step out, take some actions. If it's something you can't do, get a lawyer. There are many cheap lawyers in Nigeria that can help you run errands and do it well. Somebody you trust. You go and do all those things and come and tell you, give you updates, and follow up on other things. They can even offer to follow up on other activities, that will lead to you buying a land or paying for a house and all that. But the opportunity is huge. The opportunity in Nigeria is huge. Be it land, empty land, buying it and keeping it for some time. I think it's really a game changer, because you can just sell that land and money will just fill your pocket to invest in other things. And then if you have a property, you can lease it online, which is now the trend. People don't even want to go into, like, you see, some people prefer to go home, build houses in the village. Some people are building like 1, 2, 3 stories in the village. Yes, it's not bad. I love it. Like, I'm from the Southeast and it's our culture. For us, we believe that even if you are wealthy outside, if that your akku has not reached home, it's not really an original akku, as in it's not an original wealth. So we believe that you always show us that wealth when we get to your home, your village, or where you come from. So, but I think this time around we have to be balancing it. See, People say don't eat your seed. You can invest in this real estate, and the gain you start making from there, you use it to go and build that mansion. I think that would be, for
Exactly.
me, that would be a game changer. You invest in something, and then it's giving you some return, and then that return you now use it to build your mansion. That you didn't eat your seed, you sow your seed. Your seed now is growing and is giving you more to keep investing. So, Mr. Benga, we're about to end the project, the live show for tonight. I want you to share with us some of the projects that your company is having at the moment. What are there opportunities that people can take advantage of? Are there investment people can make, be it landed property or be it just normal property? Let's hear from you.
Thank you. Okay, so let me start from the housing project we have. As I said, one of the best way to get work from a housing project is when you buy cheap and while the project is still ongoing, and then you now you get some value before even the project is completed. So we currently have a project we are doing right now. It's a duplex, so that you have your ground floor and your first floor, and it's 4-bedroom duplex with terraces. It's currently selling for 75 million naira. Okay, but by June, by the grace of God, by the end of June, that same property will be selling for 88 million naira. So if you key into it now, you are going to be making the difference from between 75 to 88 million, because by June it's going to 88 million. And this property is about 15 minutes drive to the new proposed international airport. It's an estate within an estate. There are already people living there. So you can easily use it for shortlet, for Airbnb, for any purpose you want to use it for. There are people already, in fact, there are expatriates living within this estate. The expatriates living within this estate. You have ShopRite Mall close to it. You have multiple malls close to this property. Okay. And then, as I said, it's a 4-bedroom terrace. It's 75 million now. In June, it's 88 million. And we allow you to spread your payment for 6 months or 12 months. You can spread your payment between 6 months and 12 months. And the minimum amount you need to key into it is just 10 million naira. With 10 million naira, you are a bona fide subscriber. You spread the remaining balance between 6 months or 12 months, whatever is convenient for you. That's for our housing project. Now, we also have a land banking opportunity whereby you buy the land is your own. Okay, you're the owner of the land. What we now do is that we look for farmers that are looking for land to lease and pay for that land. So we have that opportunity. You buy the land from us, we now lease it out to farmers. There'll be an agreement, the renewable agreement, yearly renewable agreement, so that when you buy the land and you lease it every year, if you're not ready to do anything on the year, for at least, let's say, minimum of 5 years, there's an income, cash flow coming to you yearly. Okay. And then, but the concern with this, this opportunity only allows you buy in acres. That's, you must buy a minimum of 6 plots, but you don't have to buy it directly by yourself. You can come together. You can have 2 of you or 3 of you come together, buy an acre. And if you buy more, we'll give you a discount. So if you come together and you buy up to 10 acres, we give you a minimum of 10% discount when you come together and you buy more. And every year, for example, if you buy an acre, for example, every year you are getting minimum of 1.5 million, up to 1.5 million into your bank account every year for as long as you want to keep the land for. So those are the 2 offers we have for your audience. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you very much. I think the most interesting part of this is that after buying the land, every year you get 1.5 million back because you are leasing the land to farmers who are ready to farm. Meaning there are people ready to farm, but they don't have land and they are looking for land. So what he's saying is that they actually have a land that if you're interested, you can buy from him. And
then excuse me, sorry to interject. Another reason why they like our model is that we're able to provide security for their crops. Because what we do is that because we have a large expanse of land, paying for security is cheaper for us. because we are able to maximize the use of that security, because we are paying security to protect a large expanse of land. So it's the security that they cannot afford. So instead of them paying for that security, all they are doing is leasing the land, and they are benefiting from the security we are providing, because the property is going to be fenced, the property is going to be secure with armed personnel, because we have the issues of herdsmen and cattle things. So we have solved that problem for the farmers. So they are willing to come under our umbrella, farm their produce in peace and get their returns, and they are happy to pay whatever we agree, and they are safe, they are secure, they produce what they want to produce, and our subscribers, the owners of the land, also benefit.
Wow. Thank you very much. So lastly, I want to hear from you. If somebody should pay for a land now, how do you apportion that land to the person? Like you say, you buy in hectares. How does the person say, okay, this hectare, this is where my own is located? How would the person, get to know, okay, this is my land? Is it that the person has to send somebody, assuming the person is not living in, be it Lagos or Abuja or Ogun, like you mentioned last time? So how are you going to apportion the land? Is there like the person has to come with his or her surveyor to like capture his or her own part of the land? Or
Not at all. Yes, not at all. Now our land is already surveyed. Okay. Now what we now do that we have what we call a layout. We have what we call a layout. So in that layout, we apportion it in blocks of acres. We have apportioned it in blocks of acres. So when your audience they buy, they will have their own survey in their name. They will have all their documentation in their name with their survey, and that survey will have a portion in the layout. So anytime they come, they'll see the bigger picture of the layout. They'll see their name in the layout, okay, and that name is equals their property on ground. So they'll have their survey, and then that survey will lead. It's like an address. They'll have an address on the land, and that address is going to be inside the survey, and that address is going to be inside the layout of the land on ground. So it's easy to identify. So they don't have to come up. We'll do a video. Presentation of their location, so that they'll see the area that it's at, and then they'll have their survey. Their survey will be able to show at any time where their land is.
Okay. Thank you very much for the clarity. I think it's very clear. So with the survey, you'll be able to know that this is your land and it's going to be your permanent land. So if somebody wants to pay an initial payment, like how much can someone pay to like say, okay, I've started the process?
Okay, so for the land, each land is selling for, let me do the math quickly. Each plot is selling for 1,915,000. Each plot is selling for 1,915,000. So what you do is you pay a minimum of 500,000 per plot. Minimum of 500,000 per plot, and then you cannot spread the remaining within 6 months. Okay, so for 6 plots, you can pay between, let's say, 2 million to 3 million as initial deposit, and now spread the balance within 6 months. So minimum per acre is 2 million. Initial deposit 2 million.
Okay, so initial deposit 2 million, then after which the person will finish up with the other remaining money. So for that 1 hectare, the amount is how much?
The amount comes to roughly less than 12 million. That's about 11 million. So 11.7 million for 1 acre. 11.7 million.
11.7 million. So you have to pay 2 million initial deposit, and then you now sort out how you are going to pay the remaining 9.7 million.
Thereabouts. Right? Yes.
Okay. So guys, that is it. If you are interested in any of this model that we've talked about, would be these shortlets, buying house and then leasing it out on Airbnb, or you are interested in buying landed properties through Mr. Benga, like his information, I've told you that his information is already on the screen there. You can also get it in the comment section below. Just feel free to ask him any question that you have that has to do with real estate. He's going to guide you, give you information on how to go about it. And if you're also looking for a credible partner to partner with in anything real estate, Mr. Benga is somebody I can vouch for and ask you to work close with him. And before you know it, you will be shocked you've acquired many plots of land in Nigeria. You can be doing it gradually, like every month. I have to send this every month. Before you know it, you've paid for, even if it's property, you go far in the payment. If it's land, before you know it, you are done paying. And that's how you keep building, and then you get your dream realized. So we are going to end this stream at this point. Mr. Benga, I don't know if there's any other thing you want to add, maybe something that just occurred to you and you want to add it to what you've already said.
Yes, it's part of what we have already said before. That when they complete their payment for their acre, okay, the cultivation of their land starts almost immediately, so that 1 year after that, they are getting their 1.5 million naira paid into the account that they registered from the beginning. Yes, and which will be in the agreement. Yes.
So if somebody pays the money today, from now, you count from now till 1 year, you start getting money paid into your account. If
so
you
what
decide
happens?
to pay,
So what happens that when, let's say, they finish paying the money today, they will now give us 6 weeks. That's very
okay,
important, because it's farming we're going to be doing for it. And then for farming, you have to cultivate the land, clear the land, okay, and then start. Yes. So the 6 weeks after, then, but the next year, there's no need for any 6 weeks. There's no need for you, just to harvest, clear the land again, start cultivation. Yes. Apply the necessary fertilizers, and then it's ongoing. Yes.
Good. Thank you very much. So, guys, you've heard it. If you're interested in buying an empty land that can be used for farming, this is your opportunity. And it's going to be your land. After some years and you feel, oh, I don't want to farm anymore, you can use it for building or any other thing you want to do with it. Or you want to resell it because the value must have appreciated, you can also sell to get back your money. So
And the land is also coming with a CFO. It's also part of the payment, that it's also coming with a CFO, which will be processed.
Wow, this is nice.
Yes.
I think this is very, very nice. Even the property, the apartment of a thing comes with a CFO, and
CFO,
this land too comes with a CFO. I think that is really
yes,
good.
it does.
So in
Yes, it
case you
does.
want to sell it in the future, to give you a better return with a CFO.
Yes.
So thank you very much, Mr. Benga, for your time. Thank you for
Thank you very much, madam. Thank you very much.
Real estate. So, guys, like I've said, every Sunday we are here. After our news, we go into real estate talk. If it's something you are interested, always come around, and you can always ask your question in the comment section below. If I had any question here, I'm going to pop it out so that we address it. And if you also want to contact Mr. Benga, his contact is already showing on the screen. Do yourself a favor and see how you can maximize the opportunities back home in Nigeria. Like, if you are living abroad, you need to bring your tax return. You have to be sure you are earning this, you are earning that. There will be a whole lot of process to you buying a house. But in Nigeria, it's now easy and cheap. And so it's something you can venture into. And before you know it, you finish paying and the property becomes yours. So, guys, thank you very much for your time today. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell. Please give this video a like so that YouTube can recommend it to more people. And drop your thoughts, your question, anything in the comment section below. You can also reach out to Mr. Benga directly using the phone number on the screen and also the email address there. Thank you very much, Mr. Benga, for being with us tonight. And we hope to see you again next Sunday. Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless you all. Yeah, thank you. Bye.